Hello YouTube, once again, this is Samus Ridley for another game making tutorial. Here today it's going to be about file associations, and if you're wondering what that means, it's basically like if you click on a music file on your computer, it automatically opens your default music player. It's how when you click a GMK file or a GM6 or whatever version of GameMaker you use, it opens up GameMaker. And it's basically how those programs know what you just opened. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so if you look under the help file under GameMaker language, files and registry, executing programs, and then under the files page, we have the section right here for parameter count and parameter string. Basically, these are for command line parameters, and parameters can be sent to programs. And when you open up a program with a file, like if you opened up a text file and it opened up Notepad, what it's doing is sending a string of the file location that you just opened to the program as a parameter. So parameter count gives you the number of parameters that were sent. And then parameter string, with whatever number of parameter you're looking for, returns the parameter as a string. However, index 0 is special. It's the file name of your actual game, of the actual program itself. So when you do parameter count, it's not going to count that. It doesn't count index 0. It only counts index 1 and so on. Alright, so going back to our game, made an object, don't really care enough to rename it or give it a sprite or anything, and added two events, the create event and the draw event. And so in the create event, we're going to add some code. We're going to say n equals parameter count. So n is going to be the number of parameters, and then string, str, it's going to be my variable for just a string that we're going to draw for demonstration purposes. So string equals string n, so it's going to put the number of parameters plus, and the pound key right here for GameMaker, that makes a new line. If you want to actually type the pound key, I think it's backslash or regular slash, one of those two, before the pound key. So I'm going to do a new line and then attack, and then parameter string 0. So it's going to show the number of parameters, then do a new line with a dash, and then show the current file location of the program. Then we're going to do a for loop. For I equals 0, I is less than n, I plus equals 1, and actually it should be I is less than or equal to n. So basically this is going to loop from 0 to the number of parameters, which is n. So we're going to say string plus equals, once again, a new line and a dash, plus parameter string I. So this is going to go through every one of them and print in the string what the parameter was. We're going to add to that, we're going to say file equals file text open read. Make sure I got that right. Yeah, so file text open read parameter string I. So what this does is, since the parameter string should be returning the location of a file name, file text open read needs a file name as a parameter, and so that's what you're giving it. So it's going to actually open up the file, and then file text close. You need to close the file when you're done with it. And then so in here, we're going to say string plus equals a new line with 2 tags this time, and then file text read string, and then file, since that's what we just created here. So for every single parameter, it's going to get the file name and then show you the actual contents in the file. And that should be it for the create event. So now we're going to go to the draw event, and that should be really easy. We're just going to draw text at 5.5, and it's going to be the string variable we just made, so that way we can see the string. And that is it for the object. So now I'm going to create a room with the object in it, and we're going to make the background white because the text is going to be black and it's just easier to see on a white background. And that is it for this game. Or actually, quick mistake fix here, this should actually be for I equals 1, because 0 is this first parameter right here. So yeah. So for I equals 1, I is less than n, yada yada, and it should work now. Alright, so I made an executable for it, called it file associations. If you just open it, okay, so 0, since there's no parameters being sent to it, and then this first one is the file location of the actual program. So now I'm going to actually make a file and associate it with this, and then open this with that file. Alright, so opened up Notepad. I'm going to say this is a test to see if my game can read this file. Then I'm going to save as. I'm going to go to tutorial, and then make sure it doesn't have this .txt at the end. Test file dot, make sure that says all files so it doesn't automatically save it as a .txt. Test file dot testing. Just make sure the extension at the end is not something your computer already has. Just make it some weird new thing. Alright, save. Okay, so test file dot testing, and it's this blank image because your computer doesn't know what to open it with. So Windows can't open this file. Select the program from a list of installed programs. Okay. So now we're going to browse. I'm going to say desktop, tutorial, and file associations. Okay. And so now you see the image change because now it's associated with this program. So as you can see, now it opened up the game, which I'm going to exit this and just show again now that it's already associated. You just double click on the test file and it opens up. You can see we have one parameter here. The first line is always just where the game is located, so fileassociations.exe. But then now we have this next line here, and that is the test file location, and then after that with the 2 tags, what is in that file. And so you can see it's exactly what I typed when I had Notepad open. So really that's all there is to it. This is kind of a cool thing because it allows you to basically, like, let's say you had a map file saved on the computer, and then somebody could just click that map file and the game would automatically open up and they'd be in that map and ready to go. You can use it for saves, I don't know, just whatever you feel like using it for, but it's kind of a cool feature in my opinion. You may think that it's kind of annoying that the person has to actually open up the file and set it to open up your game by themselves. Why can't the game just make that association automatically? And that's what I'm going to talk about in the next part. However, that might take a while to come out because that deals with the dangers of working with the registry, the Windows registry, which, if you don't do it correctly, could mess up your computer. But in that part, I'll talk about how you can make a game that automatically associates a certain type of file with itself. So until then, this is Samus Ridley signing up.